चल स्टार्ट।
Hello, guys, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. What happened today was New Zealand absolutely crushing South Africa in Lahore. But Pratik, I think this total was chaseable on these conditions.
नहीं
It's
तो ये
just
बताओ साउथ
that
अफ्रीका प्रेडिक्ट क्यों किया था?
नहीं मैंने तो प्रेडिक्ट किया था because of the firepower that they had, but unfortunately that firepower fizzled out. I mean, if you see the 30 to 40 over phase, that's where it absolutely fell apart. They got no support from Markram, no support from Janssen, two of your favorites. And Janssen, the great all-rounder that you have been calling Janssen the Callous, today has to apologize to the nation of South Africa for three knockout failures, choking three times, big time. He's got LBW to Travis Head, an off spinner bowling to a right hander. He has got LBW to Glenn Phillips, both part timers who are not even, conventional off spinners. And then he got out bowled to Bumrah when there
लेजेंड
was
बुमराह.
24 needed of 22. So Janssen is a mega choker now. That's proven. Will you still dare to call him callous or
So
I
first
think
of all, I call him Flintoff, but yeah, I should not call him Flintoff anymore. I should call him Kareem Jannat now. but
yeah.
uh, but at the same time, Shikhar, we have Klassen and Markram first. Those are the big guys. And Markram को तो आज खिलाया, even though he was not fit. इतना उससे hope था. And I would also blame Babuma. भले ही आपने partnership
Yeah.
बनाया, but I would not say 1 of 13 is a kind of a start you do when you're chasing
Yeah,
360.
3 of
तो बहुत सारी चीजें
17.
थे. हम्म.
बहुत ही पुअर स्टार्ट मतलब नो मोमेंटम एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द इनिंग्स एंड देन आई थिंक एवरीवन जस्ट फेल्ट दैट दे हैड टू गो फ्रॉम बॉल वन except for David Miller who was playing David Miller the tragic hero of Shakespeare's plays he always plays मतलब कि for the net run rate ऐसा लगता है नेट रन रेट के लिए खेल रहा है अकेला नॉकआउट मैचेस में अपने हंड्रेड्स उसने बना लिए हैं उसके और भी कुछ नॉकआउट परफॉर्मेंसेस में देख रहा था दे आर ब्रिलियंट मतलब कि 2015 सेमीफाइनल ही स्कोर्ड 49 आउट ऑफ 18 दैट वाज आल्सो इन लूजिंग कॉज
Even
चैंपियंस
last
ट्रॉफी
ODI World Cup, he scored a century, but team did not qualify for finals.
यस he's become
Back-to-back
a quiz
century in losing causes with the guy
he's
who can play with such a strike rate. So it's a very infamous
It's
record for
become a
Miller.
quiz question now. It's become a quiz question because I think everyone will put this as a quiz question that who is the batsman who scored a semi-final 100 in both ODI World Cup and Champions Trophy
No.
World Cup, but no
And the
one
team
will
lost.
remember that David Miller did. And it's also the fastest 100 in a Champions Trophy game. It's the fast. It's the
क्या
fastest
करेगा भाई,
100.
स्टैट्स का
It
अचार
beat
डालेगा.
it beat Josh Inglis and Virender Sehwag's 77 ball 100. He scored 167 balls. वही लास्ट में जैसे बैटिंग कर रहा था आई थिंक ही जस्ट नीडेड सम सपोर्ट मतलब कि थोड़ा सपोर्ट कोई दे देता यानसन माकरम
Also, Shikhar, we questioned his batting order यार. हम लोग बोल रहे थे मिलर थोड़ा जल्दी आना चाहिए.
एब्सोल्युटली यार लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं दो दो रचिन रविंद्र और सैंटनर तो बिल्कुल ही उसको पहले आना चाहिए था इनफैक्ट मार्करम की जगह उसको आना चाहिए था आई डोंट नो मतलब कि वो क्लासन को भी ये लोग इतना पीछे रखे रहते हैं मार्करम को क्यों भेजने की जरूरत है भाई मिलर को तो आज पहले भेजना चाहिए था जब रिकल्टन आउट हो गया तो तुमको इनफैक्ट प्रमोट करना चाहिए था क्योंकि रिकल्टन
हम्म.
वाज द ओनली लेफ्टी इन योर एंटायर लाइनअप अपार्ट फ्रॉम मिलर. So once he got out, someone should have been sent to counter-attack Santner. And look at what New Zealand spinners have did. They bowled 28 overs, considered 143 runs, and took 7 wickets. This is the second time that New Zealand have taken spinners have taken 7 wickets in an ODI in their entire history. So
डेट टू इन लाहौर यार, जहाँ पे राशिद खान भी मतलब 6 एंड ओवर नहीं जा पा रहा है, उस वहां पे ऐसा परफॉर्मेंस.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
या.
अमेजिंग एंड वी हैव टू
क्लिनिकल विन
कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट.
फॉर न्यूजीलैंड, बट क्लिनिकल विन.
और एक है साउथ अफ्रीका में मुझे लगता है यार शामसी को नहीं खिलाना क्रिस्टन स्टब्स को नहीं खिलाना टोनी डी जॉर्जी को नहीं खिलाना ऊपर से बावुमा को खिलाना क्योंकि वो कैप्टेंसी कोटा है ऊपर से यानसन को खिलाते रहना इवन मुल्डर को खिलाना या इवन माकरम को खिलाना मतलब यार दिस डजंट मेक एनी सेंस मतलब साउथ अफ्रीका और सेमीफाइनल हमेशा 9 सेमीफाइनल लॉसेस 1 सेमीफाइनल विन एंड 1 सेमीफाइनल टाई मतलब कि वो सेमीफाइनल टाई भी लॉस ही काउंट होता है तो 10 सेमीफाइनल एंड वन मतलब 9% विन रेशियो इन सेमीफाइनल इन आईसीसी नॉकआउट्स मैन मतलब दैट्स रियली रियली सैड स्टोरी for South
एंड
Africa.
मैंने बोला था इनकी बॉलिंग वीक है, यू कैन सी साउथ अफ्रीका का बेस्ट बॉलर आज मार्करम है। 5.8 इकोनॉमी, बाकी सब 7 रन से ओवर गए। 8 रन से
हाँ,
ओवर आंसर। नो
मुझे लगा
विकेट्स।
महाराज को स्पिन में थोड़ा सपोर्ट की जरूरत थी, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, मतलब इसीलिए मुझे लगता है शामसी को आज खेलना चाहिए था। अगर तू देख, यानसेन 10 ओवर्स 80 और एनगीडी 10 ओवर्स 50, मतलब 20 ओवर में 150 इन्होंने T20 वाली बॉलिंग की है, 7 और 8 के इकोनॉमी से। तो वहां पे ऑफ पेस किसी को करना चाहिए था, वो माकरम ने अच्छा किया। तो आई एम श्योर कि शामसी भी एक अच्छा डिफेंसिव बॉलर है, उसके T20 स्टैट्स उसने खुद ट्विटर पे डाला था कि माई T20 स्टैट्स आर कंपेरेबल टू बुमराह। तो आई थिंक उसको होना
शिखर,
चाहिए
आई
था।
स्टिल एडमिट ऑन पेपर साउथ अफ्रीका इज अ बेटर साइड। तो ये जो वन साइडेड डिफीट दिया है न्यूजीलैंड ने, साउथ अफ्रीका नीड्स टू रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन दिस। और ये जो इनका सेमीफाइनल का प्रेशर है ना, वो ही इनको आज ले
हम्म।
डूबा है। मैं तो बोलता हूँ साला टॉस पे ये लोग मैच हार गए थे, जब न्यूजीलैंड ने कहा था ना कि तुम्हें चेस करवाएंगे। आई वांट टू हियर
हाँ,
फ्रॉम अदर्स नाउ।
या नितिन भाई, क्या बोलना चाहोगे?
नहीं, आई रियली वांटेड कि आज साउथ अफ्रीका जीते, क्योंकि मतलब इंडियन फैंस व्यू से, क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड इज वन ऑफ द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट टीम इन द टूर्नामेंट। और वो ऑलरेडी दुबई में एक मैच खेल चुके हैं और उनको पता है कि उन्होंने कहाँ पे गलती करी है। तो फाइनल इंडिया के
हम्म।
लिए इतना इजी नहीं होने वाला है। अगर अफ्रीका रहती तो शायद थोड़ा इजी हो सकता था इंडिया के लिए। तो बहुत
हम्म।
वन साइडेड कर
एंड
दिया न्यूजीलैंड ने
एंड
आज।
शायद रोहित टॉस जीत जाता तो हम भी चेस करवाते साउथ अफ्रीका से।
लेट्स सी
हम्म।
क्या होता है, बट हाँ, इंडिया के लिए अच्छा मैच होगा, मैच अच्छा होगा फाइनल अब। इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वन साइडेड।
हम्म। Karthik, any comments from your end? I'm not sure. I think you've gotten frozen out a bit. I'm not able to. Okay, you're here. You're on mute. Karthik, you're on mute.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, sorry. So, uh, no, I think the two best teams of the tournament are in the final. So, without doubt, I don't think anybody will have any questions about this. And
Hmm.
even on paper, probably I picked these two teams to be the best. Number one, New Zealand. Number two,
Hmm.
India, in my opinion. But paper doesn't win you games, finals. So, on paper, I still feel New Zealand is better balanced than India. But
Hmm.
final is a final. We have some great match winners, and I hope they deliver on the big stage and we win. So
Hmm.
I think regarding today's game, frankly speaking, South Africa, I never really thought they could beat New Zealand. I was hoping they would beat New Zealand because that would make India's job easier. That's the only reason. But there was not. It was a no contest right from the start. I think they dominated from start to finish. I don't think there was one point in the game in overall 100 overs, whatever, how many overs were
Hmm.
bowled, where South Africa were ahead of New Zealand.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
not really sure.
I feel when you're chasing such a big target and you have such a big target to chase and it's a pressure game, you should always be, what you should do is you should always be 20-30 runs ahead of where you should be, because New Zealand played run a ball. You can't simply follow their path, and try to play run a ball and then have a finish like that what New Zealand had with Glenn Phillips and Daryl Mitchell. You can't have that kind of finish. So I feel that in such pressure matches you should always be, and this is a pitch that allows you to do that. Like we have seen, this is a pitch that allows you to get ahead of the rate. We have seen Australia do it. We have seen Australia do it twice against Afghanistan also. They got much ahead of the required rate. So, even England were doing it for some time versus Afghanistan. So this is a pitch where you needed to get ahead of the rate. But unfortunately, South Africa got into a hole, I think, because of Temba Bavuma's slow start. Also, he took 9 balls to go from 48 to 50. And I don't know what happened there, but brilliant bowling from Sander, not taking any credit away from New Zealand spinners. Obviously, they bowled brilliantly. But I think everyone just, Klassen came in too late. Miller didn't come to take on Santner's majority, bulk of the overs. So I felt South Africa kicked themselves out of this chase pretty early in the.
No,
They could never.
to
You're
be
right.
very honest, I think when a team loses, Shikhar, we always point out a lot of flaws. But end of the day, I think this was a game where Probably New Zealand's class just outshone South Africa right through. South Africa's death bowling was horrible. The
Hmm.
only time I thought they were in the game was when, with I think around 6 overs to go, uh, still New Zealand were not. I
300. They
mean, they
were
were
300.
probably looking at
280. 280. They were 280
they
at
were 280
290.
something,
290 at 50, 40,
280
50.
something like that with 6 overs to go.
Hmm.
And that was when I thought, hey, if these guys can keep it under 350, there's a chance.
Hmm.
But then you see the drop catch of
Hmm.
this guy, Daryl Mitchell. Horrible. He went for
Hmm.
four. The fielding standards of South Africa have been very poor. The
Hmm.
second thing was that their bowling was horrible. Clueless planning. Marco
Hmm.
Jansen cannot bowl at the death. He's not good enough to bowl at the death. Lungi Ngidi also cannot bowl at the death. Uh,
Hmm.
in fact, South Africa had no death bowlers at all in this tournament,
No, that
and that paid.
That's what
That
we
actually
were
costed
discussing
them.
in this on WhatsApp group also. Lungi Ngidi, he has been picked for most of these ICC tournaments. Like I remember him playing most of the games of this ICC tournaments. He has good variations. I remember he used to be a highly picked bowler of IPL, like highly priced bowler in the IPL also earlier. But everyone now just gave up on him because the problem with him is. Uh, for South African conditions, he's a brilliant bowler. He troubled India in test matches in South Africa. But when it comes to these kind of pitches, you can't simply be depending on your slower balls and your variations. And those, I call them like we have clickbaits. I just call him a clickbait bowler because he will get you the wickets, but it will be at the cost of so many runs that, at the end
I
it won't
fully
matter.
agree. I fully agree. But then you go back to South Africa's pacers. I don't think they have too many options, to be honest.
But they
I
should have
think,
played Shamsi to support Maharaj. I mean, Maharaj
see,
needed
my
one
whole
more.
point is on these sort of pitches, Shamsi being effective is a huge gamble. That guy can't bowl accurately. He's okay, yes, maybe he would have
Hmm,
had good T20 record, but see, 10
hmm,
overs is a completely different game, as we know. Shamsi
hmm.
can't, I don't think he's fit enough to bowl 10 overs, firstly. I greatly doubt how fit he is,
No, no, he played in that tri
and
series. He was playing. He bowled
he
actually.
bowls such short balls.
He
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 bowls so many short balls.
he bowled in
I,
the death in
I'm
that
not
tri
a
series
big fan.
actually. In that tri series, he was
Frankly, I'm not
bowling.
a big fan of Shamsi either. They don't have the quality
Hmm,
overall, full stop. Uh, yeah, it may have been slightly better than Engidi. If Darrell Mitchell's catch was taken, Engidi figures would not have been as bad. He would have looked a
hmm,
lot better. So, all this is in hindsight. My view is that New Zealand was the
hmm,
better side. South Africa had to play Mulder. There was,
hmm,
in fact, it was a smart choice because
hmm,
otherwise they were playing Janssen at number seven, thinking he's this world-breaking all-rounder, which he's not.
hmm,
He has to play as a bowler. Janssen has to play as a bowler, left arm
hmm,
quick, who can bat at number eight. That should be his role. Who
hmm.
can have the long handle and sometimes maybe give you those impact runs at the end. But you can't expect, like you all of us rightly pointed out in the group, he's not an all-rounder. He cannot bat at number seven. He's
I'll
not
say
got that quality.
Tristan Stubbs is a better all rounder than him at least. Mother he could have bowled some overs of off spin. I mean, Markram was doing a fair
By the
job
way,
with his.
why didn't Tristan Stubbs play? Was he injured?
He didn't play. I don't know what. He only played when Temba Bavuma was sick. He got only one game in this
So
entire tournament.
this whole quota system has screwed up South Africa
Hmm.
big time.
Actually, he
I
played
think they
versus
can't.
Afghanistan too. Sorry, he played two games. He played when Klassen was unfit, and then he played. No,
So
he didn't.
Tristan Stubbs is a big future investment. Ryan Rickelton, Tristan Stubbs are the future of South
Hmm.
Africa. I don't know why they have compromised. It's definitely the quota system, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, and somewhere with that history, they are not allowing merit to come through. So even
Hmm.
in today's day and age, if they live 50, 60 years behind, then God save them.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to win. So I think that's the reason why they've been poor.
Yeah, you
I
you
think
brought
I
up a
would.
very good topic. Actually, if you see the history of South African cricket, I know Temba Bavuma is revered as the black captain, their first black leader. But I think he has hurt South African cricket so much. I think there has been lot of talks within the South African circles, and there are players who are so disgruntled over it. I personally feel Faf du Plessis, who is still playing the leagues, he's playing almost all the leagues. He also kind of took an early retirement just to be away from this stuff. We saw Quinton de Kock having some issues with South African board. He did not take the knee. Then in one of those rituals that they have pre-match, and then he also retired early. He was made the test captain, but he left test captaincy within 5 or 6 months. So there has been some issues with South African cricket, and always there is a cover up because they have that talent to qualify for semifinals, and they also somehow got an easy route to WTC finals this time. So they always have these stories of comeback, and a lot of things gets covered up. The systemic
Can't
flaws.
wait to see them hammered by Australia in the World Test Championship final. I think they're
I
going to
just
get pummeled
I just wish there
into
was some
dust.
justice for Kagiso Rabada, because I genuinely feel he's a better he's one of the best bowlers of this generation. If he would have got as many test matches as Jimmy Anderson got, he would have picked 500 wickets also.
No, I
Uh,
think with Kagiso Rabada also the pitches in South Africa have extremely aided him, which is why
hmm.
his figures are where they are also, in my opinion.
But
The
he's been
pitches
good
in
in
South
Asia
Africa have been
also.
so.
Hmm.
No, he got smashed in India. He did nothing in India whenever he came down. So I don't know. I mean,
He
Kagiso
won that
Rabada is a very
ODI
good bowler,
series
no
where
question
he
about
bowled.
it.
Hmm.
No, he's a very good bowler, no question about it. But to compare him with Anderson, I don't think so. I think there is a
Hmm.
lot more that he should do. He's bowled well in Australia, he's bowled well in South Africa, but he's not bowled well anywhere else, in my opinion. Even in ODI cricket, he's improved recently. I believe as a white ball bowler, I'd never rated him very highly. But off late, if you see, he's done really well. So I'm glad he's growing with
When
age.
actually when he burst onto the scene, it was with that defending last over of from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. That was one of the iconic
I
series
remember, but
where
that Kagiso Rabada was is much better version in white ball cricket than the
hmm,
current Kagiso Rabada. I think
hmm,
overall he's improved recently.
hmm.
Otherwise, you remember even the T20 World Cup, Kohli took him to the cleaners,
Yeah, he's not a good death bowler,
and
and
he's not a
IPL
good death bowler.
also
And
death bowling has been poor. Yeah,
I mean,
I
he's
remember
he's
even
a very
Chris
good bowler
Morris.
in Test matches.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
very
yeah.
good bowler. There's no doubt, but I think
Hmm,
he's not at the same level as some of the others. His stats are
hmm.
over glorified because he plays in South Africa. Simple as that.
I
So
I will
anyway,
disagree.
I think
I'll
I
say
would
disagree
like
with
now
that.
I would like to pose two
James
questions.
Anderson stats are glorified because he plays in England. He's plays
No,
in.
James Anderson, with all due respect, James Anderson has won the Ashes in Australia. He
Hmm.
has won a
Kagiso
series in India.
Rabada has
He
also,
has
I
won a
think,
series in
And
India.
in Australia.
Hang
Yeah.
won
on,
in
buddy. He has
Australia.
won a series in India. Okay, which
Hmm.
Kagiso Rabada can never dream of doing. He got smashed in India with no kind of record to show for. Okay, Dale
Hmm.
Steyn was much better than Kagiso Rabada in
No,
India,
no, Dale Steyn is,
being an
yeah,
out and out
he's
spin
a,
bowler.
yeah.
So, and Kagiso Rabada doesn't even stand a chance with Anderson, in my opinion. I don't think those two are comparable. He's
Hmm.
good. He's a very good bowler, though. I'm not being critical of Rabada. I'm just saying
Hmm.
keeping him in the League of Legends is a bit too much. I mean, that of Anderson at
Hmm.
190 or 180 odd Test matches is a bit too
Hmm.
much. That's my only
No,
view.
that's because South Africa
Uh,
don't play. I mean, they don't get test matches. Like England get a test summer, big test summer, and they get West Indies, three test matches versus West Indies, three test matches versus Sri Lanka. So England get a lot of
no, but with due respect,
useless test
Anderson
matches.
has troubled every team in England. It's not just West Indies. He's troubled every team
Hmm.
in England. He's
Hmm.
also played well elsewhere. Anyway, that's not the debate.
Hmm. Yeah.
I have a
Anyway,
question
let's move
for
on.
you guys. I have
Hmm.
a question for you guys.
Hmm.
So, India, New Zealand now in the final. Yes. Now, what does your heart say and what does your mind say after looking at all this? Is it heart
Hmm.
versus mind here? I
Yes.
want both picks. Heart and mind same team or heart
Hmm.
and mind different teams. Shikhar.
My heart, actually, heart and mind both say India. I mean, Actually, what I would say, what I am most afraid of when it comes to India in knockout tournaments. If you see, there has been some kind of a blitzkrieg or some kind of an impact knock. Like we saw, let's start from 2000. We saw a Chris Kane's innings from 132 for 5, winning. That was an impossible match in that era. Okay, he scored 100 from nowhere. He came at number 6, scored 100. Then we come to other ICC final losses. We saw a great knock from Travis Head, Ricky Ponting going absolutely berserk, hitting one-handed sixes, so much that we called him that he has an aluminum or bat or something. So something unnatural has happened for India to lose that kind of a big
Fakar
final.
Zaman,
Fakhar
Fakar
Zaman,
Zaman,
yes, absolutely. Fakhar Zaman, playing
and
that
the no
blind
ball.
no balls,
Yeah.
or be it losing to West Indies, some odd things happened there
And
also.
T20 is a bit different. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
T20 was a bit
Not
different. But
not
yeah,
counting
ODIs. Yeah.
T20. Yeah, sticking to
Hmm.
ODIs only. Then so
Yeah, I
always
agree
X.
with you.
So I think that X factor player is what something I feel is lacking in New Zealand.
Sachin
Uh,
Ravindra.
Um, okay, it's too early to call him, but yeah, I mean, see, New Zealand, I'll tell you, New Zealand has faced India with this current team twice in 2023. Honestly, for a moment in Mumbai, maybe we all felt that Daryl Mitchell and Kane Williamson could have chased 375 or something, but that was also just a
397.
fleeting, yeah,
397.
397, 397
Mhm.
fleeting moment of
Mhm.
terror in my heart in that on that day. But apart from that, I mean, Dharamshala, we had a very easy chase versus New Zealand. I mean, comfortable. Okay, slightly nervous moments there also, and even the defense we made in Dubai. Yes, red ball. They have troubled us. They have had a dominance over us in New Zealand and in India also recently. But white ball game, I feel it's India has much more enterprising players, much more enterprising team, and uh, given
And
the
Nitin,
conditions
what
of
about
Dubai,
you?
given the conditions of
Yeah,
Nitin,
Dubai,
what
Kar-
yes,
about you?
हाँ
yeah,
भाई बोलिए
Karthik. As Sigar
Head
said,
and
hurt
mind.
always. Yeah, heart always
Head
say
and heart.
India. Okay, but yeah, but if you talk about mind, I feel New Zealand is better side this time in the final. Okay, and if you talk, I think Kuldeep will be the main bowler who can help us to win the final because his performance in knockouts is not that consistent. If you take last two three knockouts game, so Kuldeep will be the X factor for me
You're
in the
saying
match.
he's due. You're saying he's due one.
Yeah,
He's
he's
due
due for the yeah law.
for a
Let's talk about law
performance.
of average. Yeah,
No, I
so
agree with you on the heart and mind. I think this particular New Zealand side is very special. The
very
other
special.
sides
Yeah.
have not been. This particular New Zealand side,
what do you think makes them
bowling,
so different? What do you think
they
makes
have
them a
just
threat
no
for India?
weaknesses, man. They have just no weaknesses, top to
Hmm.
bottom. They are a outstanding fielding side. They will be plus 20 in the field on the final. Number one.
Yeah, if Jadeja
Okay.
saved 10 runs for us, they will save 20 runs.
Yeah, they will be plus 20 in the field for sure. And I think Glenn Phillips himself will be plus 10 or plus 15 in the field. No question.
Yeah.
So that is the first point. Look at the weakness, right? Earlier, their weakness was they could not play spin, or they had some slow starters who could not like catch up, or they had weak spin bowling, or they didn't have fast bowlers, like something. Like here, they have Matt Henry, they have Kyle Jamison, who always troubles us. I don't know. He never troubles any other team. He only troubles India. He's almost born to play against India. And then you have this guy, Matt Henry, again born to play against India. The guy just never leaves India. Five for I see 2019 World Cup.
Final.
Again,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, Matt Henry, O'Rourke is also an upcoming very good fast bowler. They have three high quality quicks against India. And then they've got like the best spin bowling combination. I mean, Santner is the best spinner right now on current form, I think, globally.
Agree.
So, uh, yeah, and he comes in, he bloody bats at number eight. The guy is a machine at number eight. He can score runs, he can bowl brilliantly, he's a brilliant fielder. Then you got couple of spinners. This Bracewell guy goes under the radar. He will bowl a few decent overs. and then he will score runs at number 7. So, I
Hmm.
mean, their combination is so similar to India, right? Jadeja, Akshar,
Hmm.
Santner,
Hmm.
Bracewell. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got bloody Glenn Phillips, who is this finisher, who is this maniac, who's plus 10 in the field. Even if he
Yeah.
has an impact knock with the bat, if he's not, if he's not maybe a 100 maker, if he scores
Hmm.
40 of 25 balls, for example,
Hmm.
massive, massive difference. And then you got that middle order. My God, their batting is strong. Rachin Ravindra, Will Young, technically high quality batters. Even if you
Hmm.
bring in Devon Conway, again, he's a very good batter opener in white ball cricket. You know, and then
Hmm.
they've got Kane Williamson, Darrell Mitchell, I don't need to speak about. Tom Latham is their best player of spin. Like, where is the weakness? I mean,
Hmm.
where is the weakness in this
I'll
team, man?
I'll tell you
Nothing.
I'll tell you where they can be caught is exactly where they got caught in Dubai. That's
Varun Chakravarti is probably our biggest hope.
that Kane Williamson, Darrell Mitchell, that part, and Tom Latham. Those three there. I think they can be stuck at the crease. They are not good rotator. Kane Williamson is a good rotator of strike, but he may not be able to get the strike back from Darrell Mitchell and Tom Latham. Both, not great rotators of strike. Excellent red ball players, good players of spin. Both Tom Latham, but they may
But
not
Tom
be.
Latham is a very good rotator out of strike, man. Tom Latham rotates strike very well.
I think they'll get a bit stuck there. That's my only finishing. I agree. Better finishers than India. Definitely, I'll say they have better finishing powers than India. But again, it all depends on the platform that Kane Williamson, Darrell Mitchell, and Tom Latham can set
I'll
for
tell
the
you
finishes.
something. The biggest thing is we get this guy Rachin Ravindra out early because
Hmm.
if he bats any
Hmm.
length of time, I think he's so comfortable against spin pace and he's
Hmm.
going through such a purple patch.
Yeah.
Also, New Zealand will not make the same mistake as they got stuck in the league game. I think that was a dead
Hmm.
rubber. They were trying to
Hmm.
suss conditions. Now they will learn from Australia. They're a very quick learning team. You
Hmm.
can see them play on the front foot. I don't think they will play the same style, and they have nothing to lose, in my opinion. I think all the pressure is on India, has always been. That's why I have great respect for Indian teams because
Hmm.
I think mentally the pressure, is
Hmm.
always on India, no matter who we play. Somehow that billion
Yeah.
people, that huge factory that we produce, there's so much pressure on the players. I think New Zealand will go down there saying, look, we've
Hmm.
won ICC World Test Championship.
Hmm.
We will go for it big time and they will
Hmm.
play with freedom. And that's where I feel like
Hmm.
we could get caught if they attack well.
Hmm.
But I'm
Hmm.
not discounting India. I mean,
Hmm.
my brain says New Zealand, and I predicted at the start of the tournament New Zealand. But
Hmm.
I think India can win this because we got some special players. I
Hmm.
think if Shubman Gill is due, I think he's failed in two knocks. I'm just hoping he comes good.
Is the next match
One of
versus
him or
Bangladesh or something? Oh, sorry.
no, I think you have been extremely biased against Shubman Gill.
Courteous. No,
Yeah.
actually, I have not brought this topic in
Oh
any of
yeah,
our
Rohit
videos.
Sharma failing the very two games nobody comments about, man. Like screw it. Like I don't want to get into this. Your
Hmm.
most experienced opener fails in both those games. He gets dropped twice and still fails. No comment on Rohit Sharma. Only comment on Shubman Gill. Wonderful.
No,
So
but
this
Rohit
sort of
Sharma
bias, I'm
is.
not here to talk, man. Why is nobody commenting on Rohit Sharma? Why should only Shubman
I
Gill fire in
I
these
didn't
games?
say anything,
Why
man. I
shouldn't
just
Rohit
made a
Sharma fire?
joke for the viewers. I
No,
didn't
no,
say
it's not a
anything.
joke. See, I'm like, is the
Hmm.
next game against Bangladesh. Dude, the guy is among the best ODI batters today. He's the number
Hmm.
one ODI batter in the world. And that's for a reason. You don't get to
No,
number one
no.
ODI batter
See,
just like that. So,
I am
with due
fully
respect,
behind him. See, his latest performance has been amazing versus England versus Bangladesh. What I was telling is,
even versus
yeah,
Pakistan, he was very good against Pakistan also. He got an unplayable ball, mind you.
he got dropped also versus
Unplayable
Pakistan.
ball. Any batsman in the world would have gotten out to that ball,
I mean, he got
by
dropped
the way.
earlier. He got dropped earlier also versus Pakistan on 22.
Where they have, okay, who didn't get dropped on their way to runs? Like
Yeah,
Steve Smith's stump, Steve Smith's first bail doesn't fall off. Okay,
but
Virat Kohli
but they
gets
don't get
dropped.
out for 47
Huh?
if they get dropped. That's the.
Dude, that ball nobody can play, man. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
You put any
Hmm.
Indian batsman, That
Anyway,
ball gets everyone out.
just it was a one-liner. Okay, so you
So
got a
anyway,
bit
let's
offended.
wait and
See,
watch. I hope.
Rohit Sharma has a role to play. I think he's playing that role, and he's bound to get out on Dubai kind of pitches. I think.
My only point is this is not T20 to play that role. That shot against Cooper Connolly looks like a bloody, debutant
Yeah,
playing.
quite poor shot.
What is that ridiculous shot? Nobody complains, man. Nobody complains. Like, he's okay.
No,
Okay.
we do
So I'm
complain.
like,
I think a lot of people in the
I'm
group have
sorry,
voiced
that's
out.
a horrible shot. That's a horrible
Hmm.
shot under the circumstances by the captain of the team. This is not T20 cricket where I get 40 or 30 balls and get out. Head got
Hmm.
40 or 30 balls. Australia lost the
Hmm.
game. This is not T20. I'm sorry. You have
Hmm.
to bat deep. You have to bat the situation. Yes, I agree. He can take license to attack the bowling, which
You're a
he
big
should.
fan of Shubman
But
Gill. Actually, I realized.
I'm not a big fan. I'm just saying he's
But
due.
you get a
Please,
bit riled up whenever someone comments about
dude,
Shubman Gill.
I have criticized him where he needs to be criticized. In Test cricket, I have not supported him. You guys
Hmm.
pick and choose comments. I have never supported a single
Hmm.
player right through in all conditions.
Hmm.
If I go back to Hardik Pandya when he makes runs, nobody talks yesterday. He smashed Zampa in a pressure situation in a semi-final yesterday for us to win the game.
But everyone
Nobody talks
talked
about
about
it.
it.
Okay,
But everyone talks
not
about it.
really, not really, not really,
Really,
man. That is on pushing.
I think
Okay, but when he fails,
you're
everybody is
talking
on
about one or
with
two
knives
members
out.
in the group. So you're talking about one or two members in
That
the group.
includes you. That includes you, Shikhar. That includes
I
you.
told
That's why I'm
Hardik
talking
owns
about.
Zampa. I've seen Hardik owning
You
Zampa so
you
many
said
times.
that. You said that. I'm saying overall, when Hardik made even
See,
those
I don't
runs
rate Hardik's
in the last.
abilities as a finisher that highly. See, to be honest, I'll be very honest. See, I don't
Who is
rate
a
him
better
as good
finisher
as
than him
Glenn
right
Phillips
now?
or a Klassen. Yes, they
Okay,
are
Glenn
not
Phillips
perfect
against
also.
India against Varun Chakravarti. What did he do? Glenn Phillips, what did he do in the 20? Did he play the
Yeah,
2023 World Cup?
absolutely. Both failed.
क्या किया?
Honestly, both
Like,
failed.
I'm just
But
saying, what the hell did Glenn
Hardik
Phillips
Pandya
do
is
to
not
gain
facing
this
Varun
tag?
Chakravarti. Na. He's facing much
No,
weaker
but
bowlers.
he faced Adam Zampa, man. With
Yeah,
all
he
due
faced
respect.
Adam Zampa. He faced
Huh?
Adam
That's it.
Zampa. The game, see,
He faced.
he played his way. The game was already done. To be honest, it was a run-up ball. He himself played those dots.
I
He had to hit the
I
six.
am sorry. When he came in, he really needed to dig in. It
It
wasn't
was
all done.
40 or 45
One
when he
over
came
of
in. What are you saying, man?
one
I mean, just
one
put
over
the
of
emotions aside. It was 40 or 45 needed when he came in.
dude, 40 or 45 in a semi-final on that pitch
Oh,
is very
come
different.
on.
That same 40 or 45 was 24 or 20. By the way,
Hmm.
that same 44 or 45 was
40 or
24
45,
of
not
20.
44. 40 or 45.
Whatever was 24 of 20. That's even worse, right?
That he only
40 or
made it
45
24
becomes
of 20. That he only made that, right?
not really. So that's not
Hmm.
how you deal with it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you said Glenn
Hmm.
Phillips is a better finisher. Which knockout game, where, how, when? Please name.
No, no, you only said Glenn Phillips
Where?
as you were just
You said
praising
he's a
Glenn.
better finisher. No. You said he's
Yeah,
a better
yeah.
finisher.
I feel
Where? How? When? Which knockout game? Please name.
which knockout game. Now, see that
Yes.
sample size.
That's where you have to deal. Dude, I've seen Hardik Pandya finish bilateral series like anything, dude. I don't care. You talk to
Hmm.
me about knockout game. क्या किया उसने कौन से नॉकआउट में कहां पे परफॉर्म किया सिंपल सी बात बता डेविड मिलर वी जस्ट स्पोक अबाउट हिम
Yeah.
which knockout game right so when I
Hmm.
come to that see David Miller made 100 in the semi-final I agree Hardik Pandya also in
Hmm.
the Champions Trophy final played a crazy knock right in
Yeah, no
2017
doubt.
so but we don't rate it because it didn't go all the way as simple as that so when you
Yeah.
talk about finishers today when I'm putting
Hmm.
Hardik Pandya there you name an alternative no you name an alternative who has done very well. At one point, I used to think Glenn Maxwell would be that player, but unfortunately,
Hmm.
Glenn
No,
Maxwell
but
fell off a cliff.
Maxwell is hit and miss. So he's more
वही
like a
बोल रहा
Shahid
हूँ
Afridi of all times.
ए
Either he
श्रेयंस भाई
will
गुड टू सी यू मैन गुड टू सी यू कितने दिन हो
either
गए भाई
either either he will get out on zero or he will score.
अच्छा
बीच का
एक
कुछ
बात
है ही नहीं
बताओ
उसका.
कौन बेटर फिनिशर है आज हार्दिक पांड्या से इन ओडीआई क्रिकेट फिनिशर है नंबर 6 नंबर 7 जो आके टाइट गेम जिता के जाए टीम को
Hmm.
एक बंदे को बताओ यार हर लोग हार्दिक पांड्या के ऊपर चढ़ते हैं ना एक बंदे को
नहीं
बताओ
नहीं
ना
देखो
इतने टीम है इतने प्लेयर है
हार्दिक इज
बताओ
गुड
तो
मैन
सही
इट्स नॉट you're taking it too
आई एम
personally.
सॉरी नेम अ प्लेयर
I'll
बेटर
name
नहीं
Klassen. I will name Maxwell, I
Which,
will
oh,
name
Klaasen the choker in the
Phillips.
final of the T20 World Cup.
अरे
Klaasen the choker in
that's
the final of
see
the T20 World
see
Cup.
नहीं नहीं इसमें
Hardik also
नहीं
lost all the
नहीं
games,
नहीं
man. Hardik also lost all the games. Hardik also
No,
lost the games. So ऐसा तो नहीं, if we judge by
नहीं
only wins and
इसमें
losses, then Hardik is
नहीं
at the
नहीं
same place where the others are. So let's not
नहीं नहीं
judge by
इसमें
wins and
नहीं
losses. I am
नहीं
saying
नहीं
in terms of
इसमें
pure ability.
नहीं इसमें
ओके,
इसमें
आज
एक और
क्या हुआ
बड़ा
भाई? आज
नहीं
कुछ
नहीं
किया उसने
इसमें
क्लासन ने?
नहीं नहीं
आज भी कुछ नहीं किया।
इसमें नहीं नहीं
फिलिप्स ने
इसमें
तो
एक
किया
सबसे
मैच।
बड़ा पेन पॉइंट क्या है ना, इसमें एक चीज ये है कि इंडिया में चूंकि टॉप इतना हैवी है, ठीक है, तो मतलब नथिंग टू टेक अवे फ्रॉम हार्दिक पांड्या, बट वी आर स्टिल वांट टू सी अ सिचुएशन वेयर आपको रिक्वायर रेट बहुत टाइम से 8, 8.5, 9 की चाहिए। मान लो 20 ओवर में 150, 55, 60 रन चाहिए, और वहां पे आपको हार्दिक पांड्या मैच जिता के ले जाए। टिपिकली क्या हो रहा है, विच इज गुड पार्ट फॉर इंडिया, कि मान लो 10 ओवर में 80
दैट
रन
वहां
चाहिए,
तक जा ही
82
नहीं रहा है।
चाहिए, जा ही नहीं रहा है। और ये मतलब 1, 2 साल, 2.5 साल हो गए हैं। अगर
नहीं,
गया
वो
है तो
हंड्रेड
इंडिया हार
परसेंट
गई है।
आपकी बात सही
अगर
है।
अगर 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 गया है ना, अगर इंडिया का टॉप फेल हुआ है तो इंडिया वो मैच हारा ही हारा है 90% टाइम्स। अदरवाइज क्योंकि क्या होता है, अगर फेल भी हुआ ना तो इन लास्ट 2.5 years अय्यर हैज प्लेड वेरी क्रूशियल नॉक्स एट दैट टाइम। तो क्या होता है, वहां
आई
अय्यर
फुल्ली
बचा ले
एग्री।
जाता है। तो
ये
वो जो
हंड्रेड
मतलब
परसेंट राइट है,
इंडिया
बट
इंडिया इंडिया की
मैं
लास्ट 2, 2.5 सालों में ना ऐसी फिनिशिंग वाली चीज हमको दिखी नहीं है। नथिंग टू टेक अवे फ्रॉम हार्दिक पांड्या, ही हैज प्लेड सम क्रेजी नॉक्स इवन इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया। इन वन ओडीआई सीरीज ही प्लेड अ वेरी गुड 92 विद जडेजा। बहुत 5 विकेट के बाद दे टुक इंडिया टू 300+, एंड दैट वाज वन हेल ऑफ एन इनिंग्स बाय बोथ
नहीं, डोंट
जडेजा
गेट मी
एंड पांड्या।
रॉन्ग। आई थिंक मैं जो कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि मैं ये नहीं कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि वो माइकल बेवन है या वो
हम्म
महेंद्र सिंह धोनी है। मेरा पॉइंट
हम्म
इतना ही बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई जो क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं ना हार्दिक पांड्या को कि ये
हम्म
चूतिया प्लेयर है, ये टीम में नहीं रहना चाहिए, भाई दैट इज वे ओवर द टॉप। पीपल शुड ब्लडी करेक्ट देमसेल्व्स, बिकॉज ऐसा कोई भी प्लेयर नहीं है आज। मैं
नहीं नहीं,
कंटेम्पररी प्लेयर्स
अरे
के साथ
वो नहीं नहीं
कंपेयर कर रहा हूँ।
उसकी उसकी नहीं नहीं उसकी तो बात ही नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि आज की तारीख में जब इंडिया एक फास्ट बॉलर के साथ खेल रहा है, तो इवन इन सेमीफाइनल में ही टुक रचिन रविंद्रा, ठीक है,
भाई तो
इवन। तो इसलिए वो तो चलो नॉट अ क्वेश्चन एट ऑल, बट हाँ मतलब लकी बात है कि इंडिया को वैसी सिचुएशन फेस नहीं करनी पड़ी है काफी टाइम से। तो और
वो सही
इवन
बात
इन
है, बट कौन से दूसरी टीम में कौन सा ऐसा प्लेयर है जो ऐसे जिता के जा रहा है आज के
But we are
जमाने में?
talk
ये
why we
जमाना
should go to
चेंज हो
other
गया।
teams, मतलब other teams में
नो
जो
नो,
भी है जो भी है।
so I am just comparing contemporary
हम्म
players. See, when you then criticize all the finishers of all the teams, then I'm okay.
हम्म।
I'm not saying why you see you when you are talking about a
तो
finisher
नहीं, और इतना एक और
in
पॉइंट है, एक और
contemporary
पॉइंट है
era.
शिखर। शिखर इसमें
हम्म
एक पॉइंट और है, पता है क्या है, कि इन द करंट सिनेरियो ना प्रेशर की हालत ऐसी हो गई है कि जैसे अभी अपन
हम्म
ने ग्लेन फिलिप्स और इन सब के भी नाम लिए ना, तो बैटिंग
हम्म
फर्स्ट में सब लोग रन बना देते हैं, ठीक है।
हम्म
हाँ,
बैटिंग सेकंड में इवन द
ओनली
लाइक्स ऑफ
विराट कोहली रन
क्लासन।
बनाता है।
हाँ नहीं,
बैटिंग
करेक्ट बात
सेकंड
है।
में ओनली विराट कोहली रन बनाता
देर
है
इज
और
नो
कोई
डाउट
नहीं
अबाउट इट।
बनाता।
मतलब आप देख लो,
यस
क्लासन्स देख लो, बाबर आजम्स देख लो, जो बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं, रिजवान देख लो कि भैया बीच में आएगा
भाई,
करेगा।
आज
बैटिंग
क्लासन इतना
सेकंड में
डिसअपॉइंट किया ना,
रियली
आज इतना
यार
डिसअपॉइंट किया। वो शॉट क्या था यार?
बहुत ही
क्योंकि
वो क्या
बेकार।
पता है जिस
फिनिशर की शॉट थी
नहीं
वो?
और नहीं,
बट
और जब वो आया
इट्स अ
था ना,
टीम इफेक्ट आई
नहीं नहीं
फील, मतलब
नहीं,
क्लासन
बट
नो डाउट
एक्चुअली
हैज
में
टू बी
नहीं
ब्लेम्ड।
पर वो
नहीं, बट जब
स्टंप्स में
जब वो
बॉल था
नहीं
यार,
नहीं
वो
नहीं नहीं
शॉट
नहीं नहीं
सिलेक्शन ही
नहीं
गलत
नहीं
थी।
नहीं, उसमें अभी जस्ट मैंने हाईलाइट देखी, मुझे मैच का कुछ भी आइडिया नहीं था, तो जस्ट मैंने 15 मिनट हाईलाइट देखी और फिर मैंने चैट पे देखा कि लिंक पड़ा हुआ है हमारा। सो मैंने एक चीज
हम्म,
देखी, पता है, साउथ अफ्रीका की स्टार्ट बुरी नहीं थी यार, मतलब देवर एट पार विद
हाँ,
न्यूजीलैंड 25 ओवर
नेक्स्ट
में।
टू नेक्स्ट है, हाँ हाँ।
मतलब
नहीं
उसके
बट
बाद वो
आप बिग
क्लासन के
चेजेस
आउट
में ऐसा
होती।
नहीं कर सकते ना, आप एट पर नहीं हो सकते बिग चेजेस में, यू हैव टू बी अहेड ऑफ द रेट, देन ओनली यू
जी,
कैन,
आप
बिकॉज यू विल
अगर
ऑलवेज
क्लासन
लूज
इनिंग्स
विकेट्स।
खेल लेता
हम्म
अगर क्लासन इनिंग्स खेल लेता तो अहेड बहुत जल्दी हो जाते, बट क्या हुआ?
क्लासन क्या,
एक विकेट
मार्करम
गिरा
खेल
बस।
लेता, यैनसन खेल लेता, कोई भी खेल लेता तो।
मार्करम फिर भी थोड़ा बहुत खेल रहा था भाई, वो मतलब आउटस्टैंडिंग नहीं खेला, बट थोड़ा बहुत
हम्म
खेल रही है।
नहीं,
क्लासन क्या हो
मार्करम
गया भाई?
मार्करम देख, मार्करम तो सबसे ज्यादा ओवर हाइप प्लेयर है। मतलब मैंने तो उसको
हाँ,
किसी
ऑफकोर्स
ओडीआई टी
उसका
ट्वेंटी
टेक्निक
में,
अच्छा
उसका
नहीं है।
जितना बड़ा नाम है
पर
ना, उसकी तो बातें ही बातें हुई है। और उसकी किस्मत अच्छी है कि साउथ अफ्रीकन केप्स को उसने 2 बार जिता दिया। बट आई हैवंट सीन हिम डूइंग वंडर्स इन ओडीआई क्रिकेट और ऐसी इनिंग्स उसने खेल के कभी कुछ जिताया मैंने तो नहीं देखा। हाँ, टेस्ट मैचेस में जरूर उसने कुछ काउंटर
अच्छा,
अटैकिंग
we
शानदार
are
सेंचुरियां मारी है।
actually going to lose this link,
रनिंग आउट
but
ऑफ टाइम।
if you want, we can continue this discussion if you want,
कर
but
ले
it's
कंटिन्यू।